The applicant's presentation has been completed and the board has had an opportunity to question the applicant. At the beginning of each case, people who are interested in the case should decide whether they desire to be a party to it. By given the status of a party, that person will be entitled to receive notice of the decision in the case and be entitled to participate in any subsequent appeal or rehearing. Individuals who are not given party status may nevertheless ask questions or present evidence, but will not receive notice of the decision or will not automatically be entitled to participate in any appeal or subsequent rehearing. If you desire to be a party, we ask that you sign an entry of appearance form at the appropriate time. Although each party will receive a written copy of the decision, the mechanics of typing and signing the decision will take approximately 4 weeks. We ask that each person who asks a question or makes a statement first state his or her name and address for our court reporter. Lastly, in the interest of time, I will administer the oath or affirmation to all applicants and to everyone and anyone who anticipates making any statement with respect to any of the hearings this evening. At this time, will you all please rise? Under penalties of perjury, you swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If so, please say I do. Please remain standing. We'll salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Again, just to let everybody know, this meeting is also on Zoom, so if you do make comments or question anything, please make sure you're using a microphone. Beth, have the cases this evening been posted and advertised in accordance with the sunshine law in order? Okay. Gentlemen, you have received a copy of the November 20th, 2023 board minutes as presented by our secretary. If there are no deletions, additions, or corrections, I ask for a motion to approve the board minutes as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Bingham, seconded by Mr. Herr. Any discussion? If not, Mr. Luce.
In favor.
Mr. Kyle.
In favor.
Mr. Bingham.
In favor.
Mr. Herr.
In favor.
And I will also vote in favor. The minutes, the board minutes have been approved 5-0. Beth, old business?
Case number 2471, Acadia Real Estate Holdings LLC, 3040 Industry Road, seeking a special exception.
At this point, I'll turn it over to our solicitor. Give a review of the decision.
Okay, yeah, so the testimony in this matter was closed at the end of the last meeting, or at the end of the hearing. And the board decided to take the up to 45 days as permitted under the MPC to make a decision. As usually occurs in that situation, I will talk with the board members and poll them on what their decision is. And as a quasi judicial agency, they are permitted to deliberate outside of a public meeting, ask legal questions and that sort of thing, which occurred. So based on my discussions with the board members, I came to an understanding of what I anticipate the vote to be on the application. It's not official until a vote is taken. But I did draft a proposed findings of fact and conclusions of law and a written order based on what I anticipate the decision to be, which has been reviewed by the board members. So the decision contains 30 findings of fact, 18 conclusions of law, and then a written order. And I'll just read what the written order, the order part of it is. And then the board can then make a motion on the decision as presented to them. So the order is based upon the foregoing findings of fact and conclusions of law. The zoning hearing board of the Township of East Hempfield hereby denied the application of Acadia Real Estate Holdings LLC for a special exception under section 270-1.9 of the zoning ordinance to permit the use of the property located at 3040 Industry Drive for the proposed inpatient drug and alcohol treatment facility as a use not provided for due to the board's determination that the proposed use is a use specifically permitted in the enterprise zone, subject to certain criteria from which applicant would require a variance to exceed the number of clients. So that is the order in the decision as I anticipated the board's vote to be. But at this point, the board can, a board member can make a motion.
Gentlemen,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Mr. Hur.
In case 2471, where the applicant Arcadian Real Estate Holdings LLC is requesting a special exception to section 270-1.9 for the property at 3040 Industry Drive to renovate an existing building for a communal living facility. I move to deny the application of Arcadia Real Estate Holdings LLC and to adopt as a decision of the zoning hearing board of East Hempfield Township the 30 findings of fact, the 18 conclusions of law, and the order contained in the written decision presented at this meeting consisting of 9 pages.
Gentlemen, you've heard the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Luce. Any discussion? If not, Mr. Luce, how do you vote?
In favor.
Mr. Kyle?
Opposed.
Mr. Bingham?
Opposed.
Mr. Hur?
In favor.
And I will also vote in favor. Your request for a special exception has been denied.
If you want a copy of the written decision now, okay.
Thank you. Beth, we call next case, please.
Next case is case number 2472, James and Julie Guerin, 2640 Spring Valley Road, seeking a variance to front yard setback.
Is there, before you begin, is there anybody in the audience that wants to be a party to this case? If you're part of him, you already, please state your name.
My name is Lawrence Prescott. I'm the architect with Professional Design and Construction, representing this project for Mr. Guerin. Our project this evening is for the property located at 2640 Spring Valley Road, Lancaster, which is in the low-density residential district. And we're seeking a variance of relief from section 270-3.5E for minimum setback of principal use and accessory dwellings. And we're asking for a variance to construct a garage in a front yard setback. Presented plans as part of this application. They're up.
Trying to get it here.
Give you a little background. Mr. Guerin's property is off Spring Valley Road, and it's a long skinny property up the hill from the roadway. And it comes up off the road and then flares out in the back. So the house is actually at the rear of the property. There's neighbors are along the road in front of him. And being steep hill, there's really only one spot on the property to be able to construct a garage. It just happens to be in the front of his house. And like I said, the house is approximately 275 feet back off the road. So the garage would be located roughly 200 feet off the roadway. So anything from the house to the road is considered the front yard. Therefore, we are requesting a variance of relief to be able to build in the front yard.
I'm so sorry. I'm having trouble getting this to. Here. I'm waiting for Nate to respond. Not sure why I can't share this. I'm so sorry.
Did you want to see the exhibits?
That was part of your packet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
then we already have it.
Okay.
If you want to refer the pages, in the meantime, we have them up as pages.
I'm sorry, yes, the exhibits that we presented as part of our hearing, the first one was labeled as zoning exhibit 1, which showed two views from Spring Valley Road. Basically, that's the driveway to the property. You can see it's a wooded lot. The project that we're proposing would not even be visible from the roadway because it would be up the hill and behind the residence located at 2636 Spring Valley Road. And then we submitted 2 site plans that basically shows the location of the house at the rear of the property. And then a grading plan on zoning hearing board exhibit number 3, which shows the contours, how the site sits up at the rear. And you will notice that there is a drainage easement down one side of the property, which would be the western side, so nothing could be built on basically the west side of the driveway. That's an easement from the lots above going down to the roadway. So we feel that this is a, good use of this property. The garage would be placed in a manner that it really would not be visible by the general public, and we would fall within all the rest of the ordinance for setbacks, and we would have to do a stormwater management plan for a minor stormwater plan. And then Mr. Guerin's here tonight if you had any particular questions about his property.
I have a quick question for you. Since we don't have it up, if you want to come here a minute. This house to the east of the proposed garage, is this a garage here of this?
Yes, that's the garage, that's the
So,
house.
so you'd be basically backing garage to garage.
Yes, and then, this is another.
Yeah, this is the
Mhm,
2036 or whatever it is.
mhm. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Girl.
There we go. So just what I was talking about, gentlemen, is this house right here. Here's the house, here's the garage. My question is, the garage would back to the garage. Yeah.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
There is a laser pointer on your, if you need to.
I'm having problems seeing myself, so there you go. What is I cannot read on my copies on here what the setbacks are right in here. The distances from the property line to the back of the,
showing on ours that we had a 10-foot setback. The actual setback in the side yard is 5 feet in this neighborhood. We were showing it at 10 feet because that's where, if you look on the actual property, that's where the flat spot starts.
So you're talking, that side is 10, or
Yes,
this side?
yeah, those are 10
See
feet.
this little
I can't
dot?
see, that's why I'm asking, because I can't,
Here's the,
even my glasses, I still can't see it on there.
here's the property line.
Yeah.
Want me to zoom in on that?
It's the 5.
I didn't go for
Right.
magnifier, but I know.
That, another 10.
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
Like all the other.
That's why I was just trying to ask to make sure that that was already.
This is
Okay.
10 feet here?
No,
I don't want to prove anything that's already out of,
So that,
regulation.
Property.
that dash line is probably
is the 5 yard,
All right,
is the
all right,
5 foot
gotcha.
line, right?
Correct.
And it's 10 feet from that dash line.
No, it's 5 feet from the dash line, I believe.
Um,
Is that correct?
10 feet from the property line is where this representation is, yes. And we actually did have Weber surveyors did go out and stake the property to make sure everything was good, and we knew exactly where it would be.
All right, as I said, I can't read it, so I wasn't gonna prove anything that I could know was
Mhm.
within the limits of what you needed.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Mr. Herr.
I understand that the front yard along the roadway, but you go back into that lot, there's another section that goes across there. Is that also classified as the front yard?
so, yeah, if you actually look at the way it's defined in the zoning ordinance, it appears that that is still considered the front yard, even though it's a flag lot and there's a property in between that area
Right.
and road. It seems the way it's defined in the zoning ordinance that anything that's in front of the house as towards the road is considered front yard.
Correct. So if that is the case, which is what I thought it was, then I'm questioning the setback of a structure to the front yard setback.
Yeah, so the zoning ordinance says no accessory structures in the front yard. And my understanding is that they're requesting a variance from that section that says no accessory
Right.
structure in the front yard so that they can have a garage in the front yard.
Right, and I understand that, but wouldn't that accessory structure have to meet any requirements for a structure from the front yard setback?
What I think what he's asking is the front yard setback's 30 feet.
Right,
That's for a principal structure. This is an accessory structure.
Well, even
So-
accessory structure is 30 feet.
No, not in a, accessory structure in the front yard is nothing. There's no, it's not
But
allowed.
accessory dwelling is 30 feet, or, yeah, 30 feet.
How many cars dwell on this though?
Unless I'm behind on my ordinance again.
Now, I'm pretty sure that any accessory structure is not permitted in the front yard.
right, but if we're going to give a variance to allow an accessory structure in the front yard, my concern would be, should that accessory structure have to meet the same requirements as the principal structure? Because we're giving a variance, we're giving total relief. I just don't comprehend why we would all of a sudden say that an accessory structure, which is not allowed in this area, would follow the accessory structures if it was allowed.
He's trying to avoid this.
Good question.
But there is no defined accessory structure setback because it's not allowed,
Correct.
But an accessory dwelling is allowed.
but it's not a dwelling, it's a
I
garage.
understand that, but
Sleep in the car.
Definition is what's the confusion right here?
Nate, what's your opinion on this?
this one.
as far as what setback should be.
Yeah, shouldn't this be a front yard setback 30 feet? Shouldn't that apply?
The problem is there's no defining number for an accessory. Regardless of where the principal structure is, the accessory structure is only required to be behind the face of that principal structure. So there's no number to put to it. I mean, you guys can put a number to it as a condition, I assume.
Well, where I think we're getting confused here, Nate, is they're asking for a variance to the front yard setback because an accessory is not allowed in the front yard.
Correct.
An accessory dwelling, according to the ordinance, the front yard setback is 30 feet. Now, I realize this is not an accessory dwelling unit. I would still think the front yard setbacks would apply.
Need additional variance, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem approving it, but I think they would need a second variance to be inside the 30 feet.
I agree.
Outside the 30 feet.
But I mean, if you want to grant if they want to amend the application to request the variance from that as well, that's fine. Yeah.
Mr. Prescott, would you like to
Yes,
do that?
would be, I mean, we'd be looking for creating the structure within 10 feet of the property line, and that's due to the geography with the hills and the slopes. So as our application indicates, we'd amend it to be 10 feet off of, I didn't call that a front yard that's behind the neighboring property. I thought that would just be the side yard coming back the side of the property, but we'd amend it to be 10 feet off the property lines.
So you'd be an encroachment of 20 feet into the front yard setback.
Correct. And as I said, this is the hillside, so
Same number too.
tough to move it anywhere else.
I just want to make sure that this is all done properly. I don't want to bring you back here a second time if it's not necessary.
You want someone else coming back on the precedence of what we did here.
Right. So he would need two variants to the same.
I mean, I'm not sure what the second variance, the 30-foot variance what section it would be from, because the ordinance says that there's no accessory structure in the front yard, but, I mean, I think they can ask to amend to the extent it would be necessary to amend the application to request a variance from the 30-foot setback in a front yard, not.
For a condition of the approval.
And we have a request by the applicant to amend his application. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lou, second by Mr. Kyle to amend the application as stated. Any discussion? If not, Mr. Luce,
In favor?
Mr. Kyle,
In favor.
Mr. Bingham,
In favor.
Mr. Herr,
In favor.
and I also vote in favor. So your amendment, your application has been amended.
Thank you.
I mean, I understand, like I said, I understand why you want to put it where it's at. It looks like it's probably the only place can really go. It's tucked away. You're not going to see it from the road. Like I said, I just want to make sure that everything's up here. So just to refresh, you're looking for a variance to put an accessory in the front yard and variance to encroach 20 feet into the 10-foot or the 30-foot front yard setback, leaving a 10-foot setback.
Correct.
Any other questions?
I have one. Just curious how high the building's gonna be, what the height of the garage is. Is it?
We were looking at, a 10-foot ceiling in the garage and then, using attic trusses and then having, it's actually would be a walkout to the upper level where the house is located. Cause this sits down a steep bank from the house down to that spot.
Okay,
So you didn't have to do outside stairs to get down into the lower level.
okay, thank you.
Well, Jason?
Yeah, and it's just a garage. That's its only use, this accessory structure.
Correct.
There's no business gonna be run in there or anything like that. It's just accessory to the residential dwelling.
Correct, yes.
Okay. And I couldn't really read the dimensions either. Does it say the footage?
The square footage, the overall project will be under 5,000 square feet for the stormwater management. The garage as drawn is 34 by 44.
Okay.
So 1,500 square feet, 1,560.
Okay.
Proposed to be a 4-car garage.
Thanks. I think that's all I had.
Beth? Anybody in the audience have any questions? If not, anything else to add? Do you have anything else to add?
I do not.
I have one question
Go ahead.
that maybe it'd be worth at least thinking about. Are we saying that the line that parallels the front of the garage is also the front of the lot?
Yes.
But not the road?
It's a flag
Even
lot.
though- Yeah, I understand that, but we're calling this frontage,
But according
but
to
not that.
the way that, so the way the ordinance defines flag lot, they count this as front yard and this also as front yard as defined by the ordinance.
Okay.
So that's why
I
this
didn't go back and find and read the ordinance to know where that,
Right,
how that was.
exactly. I was the same way. I was like,
Separated.
what is going on here?
that's the way it's defined.
The only reason I was asking is so we avoid any future problem.
Yeah.
with the definition.
Well, I think that's why you set the precedence upon the setback and saying, okay, so
Mhm.
no one could just come in and say, well, it's my front lawn, we can put it here because it's accessory dwelling. Well, no, you can't. So,
And also the thing is up on a hill and you can't even see
Right.
it from the road. I tried the other day.
Yeah, I did too. Can't see nothing. Excuse me. If you're gonna say anything, you need to approach a microphone, state your name and address, please.
he's a married man, I can tell.
Yeah. Have anything else to add?
No.
All right. In that case, gentlemen, we will close testimony in case 2472. There's no older cases to take notice of. I'll entertain a motion.
All right, Mr. Vice Chairman, I propose, in case 2472, James and Julie Guerin at 2640 Spring Valley Road, Lancaster, PA 17601, to approve the variance for relief of section 270-3.5 E2 to allow, for an accessory dwelling in the front yard and,
No.
Not a
Accessory.
dwelling.
pardon?
Accessory, it's not accessory dwelling.
Accessory building, excuse me, construction of an accessory building within the front yard setback and allow for a 20-foot variance to the 30 feet allowed for an accessory structure in that front yard with all the usual conditions.
Okay, Case number 2472, the request of James and Julie Guerin at 2640 Spring Valley Road, Lancaster, PA 17601. The motion is to grant them a variance to section 270-3.5E2 to allow for an accessory dwelling or accessory, now you got me saying,
Yeah, I said.
accessory building in the front yard, and also allow the building to encroach within the front yard setback 20 feet, allowing a 10-foot setback off the property line. Is that your motion?
Yes,
I'm assuming our standard conditions?
yes.
Gentlemen, you've heard a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Third.
Take your pick.
All right, motion by Mr. Luce, second by Mr. Kyle. Any discussion? If not, gentlemen, how do you vote? Mr. Luce?
In favor?
Mr. Kyle?
In favor.
Mr. Bingham?
In favor.
Mr. Herr?
In favor.
I will also vote in favor. Your request for variances have been granted.
Thank you.
Any other business, Beth?
No.
And we do not have a January meeting, correct?
No January meeting.
No January meeting, gentlemen.
All right.
Enjoy the long vacation.
No
That long to
surprises if
recover from
something
the
comes in
holidays.
early January.
Nope, no surprises.
No
Good February.
surprises. That's what we like. See,
Possibly
Nate,
February.
Nate would get us all hyped up and then crush us at the last minute. You always come through.
Got to keep you on your toes.
All right, well, gentlemen and ladies, please have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you all in February.
Good. Elam, take care of yourself.
Meeting is.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to all, gentlemen and
Merry Christmas,
ladies.
Elam.
Hope Santa Claus is good to you. I have one wish on my list and I'm hoping he comes through.
Us
The same
too.
thing for you.
Yep,
Absolutely.
Thanks.
thank you. Oh, you got signing to do.
Figured it's.
Yeah, after last month.